Exciting performance in a jet-powered sport boat. It's Sea-Doo's Challenger 2000. Unsinkable construction in a 20-foot center console. Check out EdgeWater's 200cc. A small cruiser with all the features of a big boat. It's Wellcraft's new 2800 Martinique. And for long-range cruising and style, we've got Tierra's new 3800 Open. All coming up next on Boat Test Reports. Hello, everyone. I'm Dick Crippen, and welcome to Boat Test Reports. Now, some of the faces may look familiar if you were a fan of sea trials. What we did was take all of your suggestions for sea trial, the things you wanted to hear, things you wanted to see, put them together, renamed the show Boat Test Reports, and here we are in St. Petersburg, Florida, at the St. Petersburg Boat Show. It's an exciting new concept that we've got here, and one of the most exciting parts of it is streaming video of our boat tests available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're at our BoatTest.com site. Now, if you'd like to get there real easy, go to Speedvision.com, click on the Marine page, and then click on our little logo for BoatTest.com. You'll get there with no detours. Now, we're going to start testing boats, but we're also going to have some tips for you boaters who are all set to go. Seato will test your boating knowledge with their seamanship Q&As. Suzuki's here with their outboard engine maintenance tips. Mercruiser is on board to teach you the ins and outs of your Sterndrive engine. And Raytheon Marine is here to show you how to use the latest marine electronic units. Well, let's not waste any more time. Our first boat's in the water. We're ready for our first test, and we'll be back with that in just a moment. Well, let's get started. We've got a high-powered jet speedboat that's got more power than my car. It's the new Challenger 2000 from Sea-Doo.
Want to take 8 of your friends out on one of the most radical sport boats around? Well, that'd be Sea-Doo's new Challenger 2000. Tim Wilkinson is here from the company to tell us a little bit more about this new design.
For the last couple of years, the Challenger 1800 has been by far our most popular Sea-Doo sport boat. But through a lot of market research, consumers were asking us to build a boat that was just a little bit bigger and seated a few more people. So we're listening, and we came out with a Challenger 2000, which seats 8 people, and it's a full 20 feet long.
There are a lot of benefits to jet power. The Challenger 2000 can do donuts like any jet boat, and with its direct drive jet pump, it's one of the most maneuverable craft you'll drive. But make no mistake, from the waterline up, this is a sport boat. Features like an extended swim platform at the transom and a soft sun pad over the engine hatch are what you'd expect to see on any mainstream bowrider, and they're certainly here as well. But this boat goes way beyond the mainstream. It's fully loaded. An AM/FM stereo with CD player is standard equipment on the passenger side console, and there's a 12-volt jack for your cell phone. There's also a built-in cooler above the console to hold a 6-pack of your favorite drinks. Over on the starboard side helm, the gauges are well laid out and easy to read, and the throttle has an elbow rest behind it to lessen driver fatigue. Note the ergonomic styling of the bucket seats. Comfort is a big goal of this boat. Check out this ski locker. It's huge, large enough for 2 skis or a wakeboard. Now, the non-skid is easy on bare feet, but not very aggressive, so carpet is available as an option here. There are 2 bucket seats up here in front. They're not only comfortable, but with these grab rails, you'll stay locked in during tight turns. 3 deeply padded seats are located aft, and notice the armrests along the side. This is another nice detail. Another plus to the Challenger 2000 is a choice of Mercury engine, either a 200 horsepower Optimax or 240 horsepower EFI power plant. These engines were developed by Mercury especially for Sea-Doo, and both have over-rev protection along with low oil and engine overheat warnings. The mixed flow, high volume jet pump gives the boat excellent acceleration. There's also a hydro surge intake grate on the bottom of the boat to keep weeds out of the impeller. The 19-foot, 9-inch Challenger has a 20-degree dead rise to the transom for a quick hole shot. Its 2,100 pounds is heavy enough for breaking through waves, but it doesn't hold the boat back. In fact, with the 240 horsepower Mercury, this boat is red hot, hitting a top-end speed of 50 miles an hour at 6,000 RPM. Best cruise is 27.5 miles an hour at 4,000 RPM for a range of almost 110 miles. The Challenger 2000 jumped out of the hole in just 1.9 seconds and hit 30 miles an hour in just 4.2 seconds. Handling is excellent, though she does tend to pull to port when coming down off a plane. But the hull was also stable in a serious chop. We took it out in big water and came back impressed and dry. And around the docks, the control steering system automatically kicks in some extra RPMs, so it's easy to come alongside the dock or right onto the trailer.
So to sum up, Sea-Doo's new Challenger 2000 can redefine your idea of what a sport boat can be. She's roomy, she's fast, and she's got a great complement of sport boat features.
For many years, diesel boat owners have had a problem called engine blow-by. I'm here with MacDonald from Racor Filtration System, and he tells me we've come up with a new solution for this blow-by problem.
Yeah, Chris, the problem is an engine produces blow-by from the pistons. It's usually vented to atmosphere in the engine room. It carries an oil, vapor, or mist, and it also carries soot. This collects in the engine room, sometimes even in the galley. So the solution is to install a filter that takes this gas, cleans it, and returns that gas back to the combustion chamber. How the Racor CCV system works is you take the draft tube out of the valve cover vent, run it through our filter system, it continues on clean to the air filter intake at the turbocharger. The filter itself has a change-out indicator, a regulator valve, and a replaceable microglass cartridge. Typically, after about 500 hours, the indicator will pop up. To service, simply remove the cup and remove the element and replace with the new element.
So Robin, let's say I've got one of the older diesel engines and I'm interested in installing the CCV product. What's the benefit to me and can I do it?
Yeah, we've got kits for any diesel engine, for turbocharged or naturally aspirated. The system is fit to your horsepower rating. The benefits are you can keep your engine room clean, you lower your maintenance costs because your turbo and intercooler aren't fouled by this oil mist. You also keep your galley clean of oil.
Do you know the difference between channel 9 and 16 on your VHF radio? We'll tell you when we come right back. Channel 16 is used for contacting other vessels and for emergency use only. Once you've made contact with another vessel, switch to a working frequency and carry on your conversation. You should also use Channel 16 to contact the Coast Guard in an emergency. Channel 9 is a recreational boat calling frequency, and you can use that to call your friends. If you need a tow, you can call us on Channel 16.
Well, we want to say thanks to our professional captains from Sea-Tow. They do a great job with our safety tips. Now we want you fishermen to listen up and watch because we've got a boat you're going to want to see. EdgeWater's new 200cc.
This is EdgeWater's 200 center console, and the design concept here was pretty simple. Take as many big boat fishing features as possible and put them aboard an affordable 20-foot package.
Our 200cc is the most versatile boat in the EdgeWater line. It's designed so that you can run it offshore because it's built strong like all our big boats, but it's also great for shallow water applications because it's maneuverable. It's got a beautiful center console and comfortable seating for 6.
The 200 exhibits the same sharp entry, flared bow, and straight sheer that give all EdgeWater boats their trademark good looks. But there's a practical side to our lines too. Those stylish components are responsible for the 200 Sea Kindly no-thump, no-pound ride. Inside, 2 can sit on jump seats on either side of the engine, and this starboard bulkhead comes out easily if you need to work on the engines. Rod racks are standard on both end whales, and it's an easy reach to the wheel from this optional leaning post with rod holders. The helm itself has 2 drink holders and good room to flush mount your choice of electronics, but don't expect the wind in your face or a soaking either. Even when standing, that shield directs the breeze up and over your head, and the 200's flared bow deflects spray off to the side, not aboard. The side decks leading forward are wide at 16 inches, and 2 can sit on this vinyl padded bench seat in front of the console, which has a big live well underneath. And fully forward in the stem, the ankle locker is bigger than what you'll find on most 20-footers, but it could use a D-ring as a terminal tie-off for the road. Out on the water, the 200cc jumped on plane in just 3 seconds with a 200-horsepower Yamaha HPDI on the back. And though she demonstrates a significant bow rise when you gun it from a standing start, she flattens out just as quickly. The 200 is a straight tracker, and thanks to her zero-feedback C-Star steering system, she'll run straight and true with no wheel pressure until you decide to turn. She did exhibit a tendency to cavitate slightly in high-speed, tight turns, but this will not be an issue in your normal boating life. Out on the test track, we recorded a top-end speed of 48.8 miles an hour at 5,400 RPM, and best cruise turned out to be 24.9 miles an hour at 3,000 RPM. Fuel economy was excellent at 4.07 miles per gallon, and that gave us a range of 337 miles. She was very quick coming out of the hole and planes in just 2.9 seconds.
So the 200cc meets a lot of qualifications. She's a serious fishing machine that can be trailered to the best places,
And she's got decent cruising accommodations for when you're ready to do that. You can't ask for much more out of a 20-footer.
How do you handle things when you get to the boat ramp, especially on a busy weekend morning? Here are some tips on how you can get your boat in the water quickly and safely.
Before you pull into the staging area, make sure you have a plan. As the captain, it is up to you to organize the crew and assign jobs. Remove and stow the tie-downs, load all the gear, get the fuel line attached and prime the bulb. Unplug the trailer lights and whatever other jobs your boat requires. Never wait until you're on the launch ramp. Here's my special tip. The driver of the tow vehicle should always have the responsibility for installing the drain plug. After all, it's the driver who is going to put the boat in the water. If you're uncomfortable backing up a trailer, a crowded launch ramp is no place for a rookie to be practicing. If you got a boat driver, make sure he's got the safety lanyard attached and all systems are a go. Back the boat slowly into the water deep enough just to barely float the boat off the trailer. Note, keep in mind just how deep the trailer was to aid in reloading the boat. Lower the engine and start her up. Once you're certain that the engine is running properly and the water pump is pumping, the driver can then unhook the bow strap and gently idle off the trailer.
If all boaters would follow these simple, common-sense guidelines, things would go a whole lot smoother for everyone. I'm David Greenwood with Suzuki Marine. Have a great day.
Ready to start cruising? Let's go cruising in style. It's brand new from Wellcraft. It's the 2800 Martinique.
2800 Martinique. That's a name that's been around almost as long as Wellcraft itself. But about the only thing this boat has in common with its predecessors is the name. As an express cruiser, the 2800 has the same kinds of features and amenities you might find on a 33-footer, but on a slightly more compact scale. Still, her swept-back radar arch and kill switch at the helm give you a hint of the performance she's hiding that will blow those bigger boats away. She's all new from the keel up for model year 2001, and she's been designed to provide comfortable cruising and water sports accommodations for an entire family. The fun starts right here in the stern with an extended swim platform that makes boarding easy. It adds about 2.5 feet to her length overall, and it's a plenty big staging area for snorkelers and divers to prepare their equipment. Unlike many cruisers, this one comes standard with a telescoping stainless steel ladder with not just 3, but 4 rungs, so kids and grown-ups alike can come aboard with ease. The crew will also like this integral transom locker. It's big enough to hold all your fenders and dock lines, and a hot, cold water shower is standard equipment here. Just forward of that, a forward-facing lounge makes a handy place to enjoy lunch when the removable cockpit table is in place, and at the push of a button at the helm, the entire deck raises to reveal the power plants below, in this case a pair of 210 horsepower Mercruiser 4.3-liter EF5s hitched to Alpha 1 stern drives. One thing we really appreciated here is the way the engines are mounted. Their rubber shock mounts are through-bolted through aluminum plates directly atop the fiberglass encapsulated strainers, and this is the best mounting arrangement there is. Forward into port, an aft-facing lounge makes a comfortable place to read, and it has its own drink holder and grab rail for when you're running along at speed. Across to starboard, the helm seat for one has a built-in bolster that flips up to make stand-up driving easier. The helm itself has a bird's-eye maple look and is complete with a tilt wheel, very responsive C-Star hydraulic steering, Korea gauges, and ample room to mount a combination GPS chart radar display. Plus, I found it was an easy reach to the Quicksilver controls without drive trim switch built right into the handle. One of the biggest surprises of the 2800 is right down here in the cabin, and it all starts right here with the screen. The cabin is bigger than what you'd expect on a 28-footer, and it has 2 separate dining areas. One forward converts to a V-berth, and a second amidships also converts to a double. There is a third midships berth, but it will be used either for store or a bunk for one of the kids. Meanwhile, the galley is complete with sink, alcohol electric stove, and there's even a fully enclosed head for overnighting convenience. Meanwhile, out on the test track, we recorded a top-end speed of 46.7 miles an hour and a best cruise of 32.7 miles an hour for a range of more than 170 miles. With speed, good fuel economy, and outstanding accommodations, Wellcraft's new 2800 Martinique just might be your entry into the adventurous world of express cruising.
Hi, I'm Steve Schoderer, Sales Application Engineer with the Mercruiser Division of Mercury Marine. We're here at our engineering and high-performance test facility, Lake X, in Florida. Over the next few weeks, we'll be looking at Sterndrive applications to help you make a better decision when buying your boat. Over 1.5 million Alpha drives have been built since their introduction back in the early 60s. Alphas are currently coupled engines from 135 horsepower to 300 horsepower, and they're the most popular stern drive on the water today. The versatile and durable Alpha drive is ideal for everything from runabouts to pontoons to small cruisers to fish boats. Standard features include a long-lasting floppy vane water pump in the drive, self-priming, Power Trim XD with hydraulic memory that returns the drive to the preset trim position if the drive comes in contact with an underwater object, and an exclusive plastic drive lube monitor conveniently located on top of the engine for easy access. The Alpha shares propeller technology used with